ERC gives local social media personality stern warning for his insensitive comments. Local businessman claims Central Housing and Planning Authority employees scammed him out of close to $1 million. Body of elderly woman found in quarantine home. Region 10 coalition supporters stage protest in Linden. In the region, Argentina's takeover of soy giant VICENTIN sparks political debate. And internationally, India says 20 soldiers killed in border clash with China. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am George Gonzalez. Thank you for joining us. Topping tonight's broadcast is news of a gruesome discovery in Tain Berbice. The body of an elderly woman was found bound and possibly strangled in her own home. Bibi Bacchus brings us that story.
Police in Tain Berbice are currently investigating the death of an 82-year-old woman whose body was found in her home in the village of Tain. Early this morning, a neighbor discovered the body of the elderly woman known as Auntie Deo. According to reports, her hands and feet were bound. Initial observations at the scene bring investigators to believe that she was strangled to death. Neighbors at the scene claim that 3 months ago, thieves had invaded the woman's house, assaulted her and carted off with her jewelry and other valuables, but she was too scared to make a police report at the time. 2 persons have since been arrested and 2 others are being sought by the police. For Headline News Update, Bibi Bacchus.
Thanks, Bibi. Today, APNU AFC members in Linden took to the streets to voice their concerns regarding GCOM Chairman retired Justice Claudette Singh's ruling yesterday instructing Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield to prepare a report for the declaration of results using the results from the national recount, which shows a PPP victory. In response, APNU MP Jermaine Figuera said this.
We are here primarily to let Guyana know that democracy is at stake because we cannot validate invalidity. We cannot validate illegality. So we are saying to all of Guyanos and all of our Guyanese supporters in the diaspora that fraud has been committed. The will of the people is in jeopardy. Guyana's democracy is in jeopardy. And we are calling on the legal entities which is GCOM to do exactly what the Constitution provides for it to do.
These supporters are calling for GCOM to tabulate only the valid votes, since they say that only the valid votes are a true representation of the will of the people. Guyana went to the polls on March 2nd, and to date, a president has not been officially sworn in. Stick around, coming up after the break. ERC gives local social media personality stern warning for insensitive comments. And businessman claims CH&PA employees scammed him out of almost $1 million.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness, or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Hurry down to Zasco on 15 North Road between Camp and Wellington Streets. Quality products at low cost for every room in your home. 65 and 55 inches high-stand 4K smart TVs. Samsung French door fridges. Black & Decker appliances, queen and king size Canadian-made mattresses. German-made pressure pots in 5 to 9 liters. 12-piece pot sets, knife sets, cutlery sets and pans, commercial fans. Samsung smart stoves. Canadian-made 3-piece recliner sofa sets. Air fryers and Hamilton Beach hot and cold water dispenser.
Oh gosh, what's this? Me son can't read or spell. Stop! 0 out of 20. Is what I gonna do here?
Hi guys, my name is Miss Curtis missing, and I'm the senior teacher at the Treasure After School program. Due to the spread of the coronavirus and the need for social distancing, we have moved our in-class learning activities to online via Skype. On the online side, we will be focusing on spelling, phonics, reading, and the National Grade 6 assessments. For more information, you can inbox us or call us.
Contact us on 675-4379. I can call them now. Hidden Treasures, discovering gems in young minds.
Welcome back. Local social media personality Mikhail Rodriguez, better known as Guyanese Critic, was today given a stern warning from the Ethnic Relations Commission. According to a statement from the ERC, the warning was in regard to several offensive and inflammatory statements he made during his live Facebook program on Monday. The ERC went further to say, quote, "Those statements were viewed as insensitive, unethical, and anti-Guyanese and caused outrage among the Christian and Black communities. It was an attack on the religious beliefs of the Christian community and insulted the intellectual intelligence of Afro-Guyanese. Such conduct is an affront against the bedrock of a united Guyana." End quote. While the commission has opted not to fine Rodriguez, they said that they will not hesitate to do so if he repeats the offensive behavior. If he were to be convicted of an offense under the Racial Hostility Act, Rodriguez would have been subjected to a $500,000 fine and 7 years imprisonment. Businessman Mahez Roop is currently at odds with the Central Housing and Planning Authority. According to him, at least 3 employees of the CH&PA came together to defraud him out of almost $1 million over a property scam. To make matters worse, when he became wise to the plan, he was quickly presented with a letter revoking his claim to the lot. Esther Sober spoke to the aggrieved man to find out more.
This is a government vehicle went to my premises when they collect the money.
Mahez Roop, a businessman from Diamond East Bank, Darara, has found himself in a legal battle with the Central Housing and Planning Authority. He alleges that he paid 3 employees from CH&PA on 2 different occasions to acquire commercial lots on the East Bank. On March 5th, in the compound of CH&PA, the businessman met with someone who purported to be an agent of the Ministry of Communities.
I went to housing with my daughter concerning her application for land, whereby I was inquiring for myself about a commercial land for business, and I met with one named Daniel in housing downstairs, and I explained to him that I want to see somebody concerning a commercial land for a business, and he explained to me that he is the person. He bring me in farm, he told me this land in farm, he bring me in farm when we don't have their conversation and show me the said land here. And he told me that this land is 1.8. So I asked him what is the procedure. He said I would have to pay down 700,000. So he accompanied me here, and he come here and I pay him the $700,000 right on this land, and promised to bring the receipt and give me the next day.
After paying the CH&PA agent $700,000 as part of a down payment for the $1.5 million lot, Roop did not receive a receipt for this transaction. Nevertheless, he began preparing the land for construction. However, whilst construction works were being conducted on March 7th, he was visited by 2 other individuals from the CH&PA who informed him that the construction works are illegal and that the individual Roop first paid was not employed by the ministry.
As I was continuing working on this land, the 5:30 afternoon, there was a Friday afternoon 5:30, a housing vehicle came up, and they with a female and a male identified themselves. One is Norris Dwayne and one is Hopkins. It's Hopkins, and they told me them is the housing personnel. They told me that with the papers for the land, I explained to them, and then they told me this is not look right. And they told me that okay, we cannot stop you to build because we do not know the facts, that you could continue your work, and they left and they went away. The Saturday when I was casting the foundation and come back about 11:30, they bring a plan, and they was checking the said land to see the location and see if the land was being owned by anyone.
After being convinced that this first transaction to acquire the land was fraudulent, the businessman alleges that 2 other employees deployed a plan to assist him in obtaining the required documentation for the land. They also allegedly state that he would need to pay them $1 million to start the paperwork to acquire the land. Believing this to be the legal transaction, the businessman claimed to have given CH&PA employees $200,000 as a down payment on the purchase of the property. This transaction was done at his home in Diamond. Again, he did not receive a receipt. Nevertheless, he provided video footage and pictures of the alleged ministry vehicle visiting his home.
This is the vehicle. This is how I went to the vehicle and gave the money. This vehicle from housing. So I gave them the money and they went away. On the following Monday, they told me to continue work on the land, so I cast the columns. The Tuesday, they called me 8:30 to 8, between 8:15 to 8:30. I have that call also recorded and printed, and they told me to come off the land. The CEO want to see me.
The businessman further claimed that CH&PA employees requested the remaining $800,000 down payment. This time he refused to continue with the transaction unless he was given a receipt. Soon after, he was served a letter to dismantle the premises. A meeting was reportedly conducted between the incumbent minister within the Ministry of Communities, Annette Ferguson, the businessman, and the employees. According to Rube, the employees denied receiving the monies from him.
When the minister confronted them with this kind of evidence, she denied that she was there. She denied and said that she sent nurse based that I call her and tell her Daniel was on the land. If Daniel was on this land, what are you doing at my home in Diamond? She said she instruct nurse to take a picture of Daniel to see what he looked like and do not tell him anything. And she denied being at my premises. She denied collect this money on me.
And what the minister said?
The minister said to us that, Mr. Roop, if you come clean to me, then I could help you. I said, Mom, that I give these people my money, these collect my money, and promise to get the documents for me. And Dwayne and Ms. Hawkins denied it in front of the minister, and the minister said she would call the police. I said, I have no problem.
In the days following the meeting, this businessman noted that the agents from the CH&PA have dismantled the structure, though an active investigation is ongoing. Headline News has spoken to a source within the CH&PA who noted that the agency is aware of the businessman case. Nonetheless, Headline News will update this story as more details arise. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, Argentina's takeover of soy giant VICENTIN sparks political debate, and India says 20 soldiers were killed in a border clash with China.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Harry Hurry down to Zasco on 15 North Road between Camp and Wellington Streets. Quality products at low cost for every room in your home. 65 and 55 inches Hisense 4K smart TVs. Samsung French door fridges. Black & Decker appliances, queen and king size Canadian-made mattresses. German-made pressure pots in 5 to 9 liters. 12-piece pot sets, knife sets, cutlery sets and pans, commercial fans. Samsung smart stoves. Canadian-made 3-piece recliner sofa sets. Air fryers and Hamilton Beach hot and cold water dispenser.
Oh gosh, what's this? Me son can't read or spell. Stop! 0 out of 20. This is what I could do here.
Hi guys, my name is Ms. Pooja Singh and I'm the Senior Teacher at Agriculture After School Program. Due to the spread of the coronavirus and the need for social distancing, we have moved our in-class learning activities to online via Skype. On the online side, we will be focusing on spelling, phonics, reading, and the National Grade 6 assessments. For more information, you can inbox us or call us.
Contact us on 675-4379.
I can call them now.
Hidden treasures, discovering gems in young minds.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. The Argentinian government wants to expropriate a bankrupt agricultural group to save jobs. Al Jazeera's Daniel Schweimler reports.
The giant Argentine agricultural group VICENTIN owes creditors more than $1 billion. The government has stepped in to rescue it. It says its plan will save jobs and help to ensure the future of the country's food sovereignty. This is the latest protest by workers and many in the business community who oppose any kind of government intervention.
There are bankruptcy protection proceedings, there is justice, and they are subjugating it. The intervention is illegal. That's how the people understand it.
This is a very special moment for our region. We are defending our companies and with that defending the sources of work.
They're asking where the Argentine government will find the money, since it's already in crisis talks with creditors to avoid another massive debt default. Others raise the spectre of previous failed nationalisations and warn of what they call another Venezuela. The battle is partly ideological. The previous right-wing government is being questioned over its financial dealings with VICENTIN. It's also historical. Argentina's powerful agricultural sector is suspicious of Vice President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. The two sides were in almost constant dispute while she was president from 2007 to 2015. This is a battle for the soul of the VICENTIN group, which in its nearly 100-year history has helped Argentina to become one of the leading beef, cereal and grain producers in the world. The result of this battle will to some degree dictate what kind of country Argentina is as it emerges from the COVID-19 crisis. President Alberto Fernández and his centre-left government want the expropriation and turnaround of a failing concern that will serve its workers, their community and the rest of Argentina.
This
is a company under protective measures to stop it going bankrupt, not someone's company that we're trying to take over. I've no idea what the opposition is saying about this. Honestly, I don't. I just know that the workers, residents and producers will be very happy to hear this news, and all Argentines should be content that we're taking a step towards food sovereignty.
Not all seem as happy as the president appears to think they are. His vision must still be debated by Congress, when the deep divisions in Argentine society will again be starkly exposed. Daniel Schweimler, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
And internationally, the Indian Army says 20 of its soldiers were killed in fighting with Chinese troops along with their disputed border late on Monday night. It is the first time deaths have been reported in a standoff between the two countries in decades. Al Jazeera's Charlotte Bellis reports.
In the remote western Himalayas, there is little evidence of what led to Indian and Chinese soldiers engaging in a deadly brawl at their border on Monday. India's army said there were casualties on both sides, but not a shot was fired. These are Indian military reinforcements destined for the border shortly after. India and China share the world's longest unmarked border. In recent months, both sides have upped their military presence, tensions increasing over who owns what land. The border has been disputed since India and China went to war in 1962. The line in yellow is the so-called line of actual control, but there are several disputed areas on either side. One of the main ones is Aksai Chin, which is claimed by India but administered by China. India has appeared confident in a diplomatic resolution. Just on Saturday, India's army chief said this.
The entire situation along our borders with China is under control. We are having a series of talks.
The Chinese also thought dialogue was working, but blame India for the deadly breakdown.
On June 6, border forces of the two countries had commander-level talks and reached a consensus on easing the situation in the border area. However, it was shocking that the Indian forces violated the consensus, crossing the border twice to carry out illegal activities and provoking attacks on Chinese soldiers.
Indian officials have refuted that they caused the escalation.
This time what I see is a more aggressive posture by the Chinese, which looks like a deliberate policy to create confusion between India, or rather deteriorate the relationship between India and China at the highest level.
Leh is a quiet town on the Indian side of the border. Outside of military helicopters, residents have few clues behind the tension on their doorstep.
Officials aren't releasing any statement regarding the standoff that is going on at the border, so rumours spread, which has created fear among the people. People living near the border are more scared. The cellular network in the area has also been cut off and no information is coming through.
The deadly skirmishes raising the stakes for Beijing and New Delhi over where their vast frontiers begin and end. Charlotte Ballas, Al Jazeera.
That's all for today's regional and international news. Here is your 3-day weather forecast. That's all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in Friday at 6 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Also, visit our website at headlinenewsghana.com for all the news we couldn't fit in the newscast. Until then, take care.